If you had the choice, which would you choose? Romantic love or self love? And yes, that's a trick question. But first, I'm going to do the introduction and then we're going to talk all about it. Hey guys, it's me, it's QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't done this already, you really should hit the red subscribe button and smack the little bell that's next to it. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you would like to get a reading done, or if you want to chat with me, if you want to give a donation to the channel, if you want to become a patron on Patreon, if you want some Archangel Michael merchandise or some Ask an Aquarius merchandise, or if you want to send me a gift from my very wild Amazon wish list, please check out underneath this video, okay? Um, and please stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to read out some positive comments from previous videos, and one of them could be yours. So today we're going to talk about Aquarius and self-love over romantic love. And we're talking about this because someone said to me in the comment section or somewhere I was at, Instagram somewhere, they said to me that they feel like their Aquarius prioritizes self-love over their romantic relationship, over romantic love. And I said to this person, you know, I don't really feel like you have to pick one or the other. Because this is the thing, and I think that this is what this Aquarius has figured out. Something that I figured out and you might have figured out. You have to love yourself to have a decent relationship. Why do I say that? Because if you don't love yourself, the chances that you're going to make bad decisions, especially in romantic relationships, increases. Because if you're not loving yourself, you're going to be more willing to settle. You're going to be more willing to deal with a person who may not be treating you the best, toxic or abusive, both. You know, when I wasn't loving myself, that's how I ended up with a narcissistic, sociopathic cancer. Not all cancers, hashtag not all cancers, but this particular one was a nut job. And if I had been loving myself, I would have made better choices. So it's not that Aquarius prefers self-love over romantic love. It's that Aquarius, those of us who are smart, have figured out that you need self-love in order to pick and maintain a good romantic love. It's not either or, you need both. And the self-love comes first because that's how you pick or attract, I should say, the right romantic love. It's not that, because I hear people talking about this on Instagram. They'll be like, y'all gonna self-love us to death. And I always know when somebody says that, that's somebody who's not giving themselves self-love. It's every time. The last time somebody was complaining, she was like, I should be entitled to get, this is what she told me. I should be entitled to love. I should be able to get love without having to first heal myself or love myself. And I was like, I don't know if you should or not. Should is a real like kind of subjective statement, but you're not. You're not. You're not going to be able to maintain a good relationship or find a decent relationships in most cases if you have not mastered loving yourself first. Now, I'm not going to say some people don't get lucky. I know people who don't love themselves who just so happen to meet a decent person and they got together. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. Sometimes they ruined the other person, or so the other person said, with their lack of self-love. Okay? And sometimes the other person was able to help them come to a healthier place at the expense of themselves very often. Why would you want to do that to another person? Wouldn't you, like, think about this, and I think about this with myself. When I think about getting with another person, I think about, I want that person to experience the best of me. I want to be the best version of myself, not just for myself, but for that person. Why would I give them a broken person? In my case, I felt broken. Why would I give them a broken person who didn't love themselves? I wouldn't give a gift to another person that I considered not to be up to par. I wouldn't give you a broken bicycle as a present. You know what I mean? I wouldn't give you, a half used bottle of lotion. You know what I'm saying? I would give you the best I had to offer. So when I think about being in a relationship, if I ever get in a relationship again, one of the reasons why I do so much work on myself is that I want to hand that person the best version of Queen Auset that they could possibly meet. So it's not that your Aquarius has, decided that self-love is more important. It's that your Aquarius knows you have to have one to have the other in most cases work out right. Now you're going to have anomalies, I'm sure, but for the most part, this is what is going to need to happen. And like I said, the people that fight the self-love, concept are usually the ones who need it the most. The same way the people who fight forgiveness, a lot of people fight forgiveness. Who child? If I say forgiveness to somebody, some people get mad. I have to forgive them. They did that, and they go onto this tangent. And I'm just like, no, you don't have to forgive. Forgiveness isn't a prerequisite. You can be unforgiving if you want to, but it's not the best idea, because that means that what you're telling me is I want to hold on to this unforgiveness. I want to hold on to it. I want to be mad. And I'm not saying that you reconcile with every person. I'm not saying you deal with them ever again. I'm saying forgiveness is about holding on to bitterness. You're hurting yourself, not the other person. So it's the same thing with self-love. Those who have the tendency to buck against self-love, it's like you're not hurting anybody but yourself, you know? And you're going to make awful decisions in a lot of situations that you would not have made. When I started to love myself, I started to protect myself fiercely. Who I will let spend time with me, who I will let around me, who I'll let into my home, who I will let into my person, who I'll even talk to, who I will let influence me changed. Okay? I totally started protecting myself in a whole different way on levels, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I used to only protect myself physically. I would leave the house, I'd have a switchblade every time. I grew up in the inner city. It is what it is. So I always protected myself physically, but I didn't protect myself in the other ways that really mattered as well. And that's what changed with self-love. I was like, oh no, you're not going to harm me. You're not going to come up here with your bullshit. You're not going to come over here with your abuse. You're not going to come over here with your toxicity. All that needs to go someplace else. And self-love is really how I got there. Okay? So let's talk about our positive comments. Brittany. Hey, Brittany said, I screamed the first time I read it. Then I reread it and hurt my own feelings. Late 1900s? Excuse me? Oh my God, he's not wrong. And I felt some type of way about it, laughing my ass off. This is a response to something I posted in the community section. So if you're bored, look in the community section. I always post memes and things that I find about Aquarius that I find to be fun, or just things about relationships and love. The other day, a young child, said that we, those of us born 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, he said we were born in the late, listen to this, y'all, the late 1900s. Now he's right. Number wise, that is the late 1900s. But I didn't realize it till I read it, and I was like, I don't like that term. Little kid, how dare you? The late 1900s. It makes me feel like when I used to read, things from like, the old days, Little Women, and Sherlock Holmes, old stuff from like the late 1700s. That's what it made me feel like. And I was like, oh, So Brittany, I am with you. That was so funny to me. Miss Willow. Hi, Miss Willow. Brittany and Miss Willow, make sure you're subscribed and you hit the button, okay? Miss Willow said, I'm called a know-it-all. Me too. But I never shy away from admitting when I don't know something. Exactly. It's just that I'm a listener and I only speak when I know about something. I have the knowledge and I like to share it when it is relevant to help. I agree with you 100%, Miss Willow. I feel the same way. If I don't know something, I'm the first one to be like, I don't know, please educate me, you know? But I only ask to be educated by those that I trust to teach me. Now that's a big thing about Aquarius. Aquarius don't trust everybody's knowledge. Because we know some people make that shit up as they go along. But the people I trust to teach me, I will listen to. Even if I give them a little pushback, I will definitely listen. And she said, you know, it's an attempt to help. I think most of us, it is an attempt to help. But everybody doesn't take it like that. So I always offer the help and allow them to decide if they want it or not. You know? All right, Miss Willow, thank you for your comment. And guys, you come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.